I was just kidding!
You're here.
Ian clearly witnessed with his own eyes. His wife died in a car accident. But when he woke up the next day, his wife had miraculously come back to life. Ian was so scared he kept backing away until he felt his wife's body temperature again. Ian's anxious heart finally calmed down. Time seemed to go back to yesterday. His wife went to make breakfast as usual. Ian suddenly remembered. His wife would get burned by the kettle at this moment. He rushed over to warn her, but found that his wife had used a towel. He let out a long sigh of relief. But before long, his wife's hand still got burned in a different way. This made Ian's heart sink. Sure enough, even though Ian insisted on changing the route to work, his wife still got soaked by cola from a passerby, just like yesterday. He desperately tried to explain everything to his wife, hoping she would understand. What happened in the dream that freaked you out so badly? To keep his wife from worrying, Ian only told her it was something terrible, and that his watch would break on the way to the company. So to verify this, his wife decided to go with him. Soon they arrived at the company entrance, and Ian nervously checked his watch. The watch was perfectly fine. He let out a long sigh. Maybe he really was overthinking things. After work, he told his friend about this strange dream, but his friend also thought it was just a coincidence and told him not to worry about it. However, the cup that was supposed to break yesterday was caught by him today. Looking at the ball in his hands, he suddenly realized, since the original sequence of events had changed, could he also prevent his wife's death? However, when he took a taxi, he discovered the driver was the same person as yesterday, and Ian became even more certain. Everything that happened yesterday was real. So he asked the driver whether that thing would happen tonight. Just one thing, just love her. The moment Ian heard the answer, he panicked. He ran desperately toward his wife. To prevent the tragedy from happening, he decided to take his wife away from this place. Soon they arrived at a hillside. Originally, they just needed to cross this mountain road to reach Ian's hometown. But heaven chose this moment to send down heavy rain. They hurried into an abandoned stone house nearby. Just as Ian was about to start a fire for warmth, an accident happened at this moment. He looked at his wrist in disbelief. The watch was broken. At this moment, he finally confirmed. This was an unchangeable fact. Looking at his beautiful wife, Ian suppressed the grief in his heart and asked his wife a question. If you had one day left, what would you do? Seeing her husband's serious expression, she said firmly, "It's an easy answer, and no-brainer. I'd spend it with you." Then the two went outside for a walk, but his wife suddenly suggested going back because tonight was her graduation recital. He also knew his wife's dedication to her dreams. Since he couldn't change any of this, he would cherish this last time together. So after returning home, Ian stole the song his wife had written, rushed to the theater early to convince the organizers to distribute the music to everyone. He knew his wife had dreamed of being a singer since childhood, but unfortunately, she never had her own stage. As the performance ended, Samantha was surprised to discover her sheet music had actually appeared here. So with her husband's encouragement, she nervously stepped up, looking at her husband's determined gaze. It seemed to give her enough courage. Beautiful singing began to fill the entire venue. When the song ended, everyone gave the most enthusiastic applause, and Samantha finally fulfilled her wish. Afterward, they went to a restaurant. Ian took out a bracelet he had prepared. Each charm on it was a unique memory of theirs. Although the gift wasn't expensive, to Samantha this was the most precious thing. However, after finishing dinner, it started raining heavily. Ian knew he didn't have much time left. I loved you since I met you, but I wouldn't allow myself to truly feel it until the day. Samantha was not forced today, not for you. I would never have known love at all. So thank you for being the person who taught me to love, and to be loved. After one kiss, what was meant to come still came. But unlike last time, this time Ian didn't choose to let his wife go back alone. Instead, he got in the car with her. Same time, same place. Ian's breathing began to quicken. His wife's memories also began flashing through his mind. The accident arrived as expected, but this time he held his wife tightly in his arms. Samantha survived, but Ian was gone forever. Only then did she understand. Everything her husband had said was true, and he kept trying to tell me. I didn't believe him right before we got into the cab. He told me about how I taught him to fall in love. Love you, it was so easy for me. He just wanted to say everything.
Behind every story is a listener like you. Subscribe and let's make every heartbeat count. Thanks for watching. Love you all.